Oh, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful good evening to everybody. It's gone 6 o'clock, it's Sunday, and I've been away for 2 days. Well, I went away on Friday afternoon, I've come back today. Yeah, that's 2 days. Of course, the best laid plans, eh? How does that one go? I just happened on Friday morning to have developed a sort of like a little what should we call it, like a little ulcer on the gum above my front teeth, and it developed into a full-blown abscess, so I'm now speaking kind of a wee bit strangely because I have an abscess in my mouth, which is quite painful. And I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, hopefully, if I can get a little appointment. Anyway, enough of all that. I'm not even going to think about that. So I thought I'd just update you all with a little video. And as soon as I came back, because my eldest daughter was here looking after Jack. Jack loves her, he really does. He loves her. So that's a treat for Jack, really. But as soon as I come back, my daughter said, "Oh, Mum, I've been down the garden, I've been opening up one of the paths, come and have a look." So off we trotted with the big loppers and the secateurs, you know. And anyway, I said, "Look, before we go down to have a look at the path, let's go in here and have a look at this horse chestnut tree," because I was kind of putting it off, you know. I was so distressed at the thought of my beautiful tree dying. Anyway, without further ado, I'll show you what we've done. So all this has been cut off the tree. There's a lot more to cut off, but it's good news. It's good news. So the tree had fallen out over the top of these little I can't think, you know, my mind's almost a blank because of driving and travelling and the abscess and whatnot. Birch trees, thank you. So a lot more of this big horse chestnut tree to cut back. I've made a little bit of an inroad in here now, look. It's always good to make a start, you know. Try not to put things off too much. So I made an inroad because I wanted to see the damage. And here we go, I'll show you. So it's not all bad news. It's not all bad news. And I'll tell you for why. I won't start with this. I'll start with this. Because many of you will remember, when was it? Was it last year? Yes, it was. It was last year, round about autumn. This poor tree, which has been very fast growing, you see. This has been part of her problem, that she's grown too fast. There was a big storm, and this leader, the actual leader of the tree, that's the main trunk that grows up and up and up, snapped. And I thought, do you remember I said in the video, I'm just going to leave this branch. I'm going to leave it and see what happens. And so, as I said in a video earlier this summer, this branch came back to life, no problem at all, and in fact has grown very healthily. As you can see, look, there's nothing poorly or sickly about that. It's gone off into several branches now. And if you look up into it, it looks as though a little bird has made its nest up there, you see? So that's amazing. Do you know, it's very reassuring when you see something like this. So it does pay to let things just try to sort themselves out a wee bit first. Now here, of course, these are the lower branches. And my word, but they got very, very heavy. Probably too heavy too quickly. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to cut this one off here, cut that one off there, and then I'm going to push these bits back into the tree, right? And I'm going to bind it round with lots and lots of hessian. That's my plan. So things aren't as bad. I mean, it looks pretty disastrous, I know, but magic happens all the time. Magic does happen. And you know me? I call anything that we can't explain, which is an awful lot, by the way, magic. So you can see here all the little horse chestnuts, look, that the poor lady was trying to put out. Look at that, see? So tomorrow, anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take the weight off those branches completely, push them back into the trunk, bind them round with hessian, and we'll see how that works. But I will have to cut the rest of this off, which is sad, I know, but it's not going to live like that now. So, and of course lift it all off this little tree. This is a wee damson tree here, which is, you know, carrying a lot of the weight of that fallen branch. So the little birch trees are okay. They've survived even with the branches falling down on top. Stacked a lot of the stuff in here. Stacked a lot of it over there. And yeah, so I'm feeling actually very uplifted about this. But now you can see the huge growth in this tree. It grew far faster and far bigger than any expectation I had on it. But it's still alive. It's proved itself to be a healthy girl, really healthy. I think it can continue to grow. Time will tell, and it will be a continual delight to come down here each morning with my coffee, check on this beautiful tree, give it a little pat, talk with it, know that I'm willing it on. We'll see where it goes. So that's good news. The buddleia around the back, well, that's been saved because of course buddleias are very, very resilient. I'm going to just keep going with this until the battery runs out, by the way, because it showed me that it had 2 bars on it. So I'm going to walk on down here because there's been a massive amount of rain has fallen, and I've heard that there are more storms on the way. So I suppose the weather's just going to be a wee bit unsettled, as they say. But that's to be expected, you know. So I'm actually feeling really quite happy, even though I've got an abscess. Which, by the way, I'm not going to go on camera to show you, but I can assure you, my face looks as though it's had a very, very bad Botox job. It's all swollen in the wrong places. Because it's up above my front teeth, it has sort of pushed one cheek out and sort of pushed my nose to one side. It's ridiculous. Anyway, hopefully I can get a dental appointment tomorrow and get it sorted. Just have to play it by ear. these things happen. Life is never completely smooth, you know. And I'm wondering too to myself, you know, like I think what happened was I cut the inside of the roof of my mouth a wee bit. I was eating some crisps, and I'm thinking to myself then, could it be that wearing my cotton face mask perhaps helped to create the infection? I don't know. Anyway, what I've decided to do is get a few more cotton face masks, and literally when I take one out with me to the shops, as soon as I come home, I'm going to wash it in a mild soap and hang it up outside to dry, you know, get lots of air and sunshine to it, because I think this could be a problem that hasn't yet been identified, you know, with the face mask thing. So beware, everybody, on that note. Just be mindful of the fact that when you wear the face mask, you know, that you may have worn it, you know, half a dozen times previously, and then you don't know what bacteria or germs would be trapped in that. So anyway, not just about hand washing, I think it's got to be about face mask washing, especially if you use the little cotton ones. Now Jack, let's walk up. I'm talking funny. Oh gosh. Lots and lots of water through the pond, which is creating this beautiful little waterfall on the streams. So what else now have I been doing? I didn't go out shopping in Belfast. What I did, I went out round a few garden centres. But of course you still have to wear your face mask, you know. But it was lovely because I don't like shops anyway. I do love garden centres, and I love kind of going round and looking at things and kind of dreaming and planning and envisioning, you know, new areas that I can open up. Of course, it's all woodland garden. So whatever I create now within this sphere is part of the woodland garden. And some of the beautiful plants and trees and benches, I don't know why I bother with benches, because I never sit down on them. Well, the little one down there, look, being the exception. That's the exception. Because it's actually beautiful to go down there and sit. And tomorrow morning, I hope to be down there with my coffee. Myself and Jack. Now I've got my wellies on. So that's all the noise you can hear. So, now of course I won't be leaving all those cuttings there. I will find, actually what I'll do is I'll probably bring those along some of the paths and kind of weave them in along the sides of the paths, which will look nice, as well as helping to define those pathways. Isn't the evening sun beautiful on these trees? Just gorgeous. So beautiful. Do you know, I always breathe a big, deep sigh of relief when I drive in through the laneway, driving through the gate here, coming home. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. So, now what I've decided to do, I was having a chat with my eldest daughter, and she said, you know, Mum, You shouldn't go trying to cut and prune all the trees around the driveway. Well, not around the driveway, but around, the cottage. She said you should actually hire some tree surgeons to come in. So that's what I'm going to do. It'll be round about maybe the end of November, sometime like that. I'm going to hire a proper company to come in and make sure the trees directly around the cottage are all pruned. And, some of them pollarded a little bit. But just to restrict their size, not restrict their growth, of course, but just their size. Look at what the wind's done here. Look, broken this dogwood. Gotta get out and do that. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. I think that would be a good investment to make. And as well as that, then it will enable me to see down across the canopy of the woodland. So I'm going to call in some tree surgeons for advice initially, and then develop a little plan. So it might be a day or 2 days work, or maybe a bit longer. But I think that would be a good investment for the woodland, for the Bealtaine project that has helped to establish the cottage as a cottage in the woods. But